Let us solve a question on three-player Nash equilibrium. The question is, in a three-player game, we have three players, player 1, player 2 and player 3. Player 1 chooses either up or down. Player 1 chooses either up or down. As strategies, player 2 can choose either left or right. Either player 2 can go left or right here, left or right here, okay? As strategies, player 3 can choose either table 1 or table 2, either this table or that table. We need to find out the Nash equilibrium or Nash equilibria if we have multiple Nash equilibrium here, okay? Now here you can see the first numbers in each cell denote the payoff of player 1. Second number, which is being shown by this green color, or the payoffs of player second, and the black colors are the payoffs of player third. Okay, now let us see how to solve this very game when we have three players. Let us take the first profile is, that is, let us suppose player 3 chooses table 1, okay, and player 2 chooses left. Then what are the options for player 1? Okay, player 3 is choosing this table, player 2 is choosing left, so we have nothing to do with this second table here. Now then player 1 has options either to go up or down. Up gives him 3 as payoff, down gives him 2 as payoff. Obviously he will choose 3. 3 is greater than 2. Okay, again let us say player 3 chooses table 1 and this time player 2 chooses right. Okay, what are the options for player 1? Either to go up or to go down. Up gives him as a payoff of 4, down gives him 5. Obviously 4 is less than 5, so he will choose greater amount here. So let us underline this. Again, this time let us suppose player 3 chooses table second and player 2 chooses left. What are the options for player 1? Player 1 can go either up or down. Up gives him 2, down gives him 6. So obviously he will choose more. That means he will choose go down. That means we underline this very number. Again, if player 3 chooses table second and this time player 2 chooses right, what are the options for player 1? Either to go up or down. Up gives him 4, down gives him 3. Obviously he will choose 4. Okay, so we are done with player 1. Now let's take player 2 into consideration. Okay, now let us suppose player 3 chooses table 1 and player 1 chooses up. Okay, this time player 2 has two options, either to go left or right. So we are concerned with these cells here. Obviously left gives him 2 as payoff, right gives him 1 as payoff. Obviously player 2 will choose left. Okay, now let us suppose player 3 chooses table 1, player 1 chooses down. Again player 2 has two options, either to go left or right. Left gives him 6 payoff, right gives him 4 payoff. Obviously he will choose better payoff, that is 6. Okay, let's take this very into consideration. Let us suppose player 3 chooses table second and player 1 chooses up. Again player 2 has two options, either to go left or right. We are concerned with this row, either to go left or right for player 2. Obviously left gives him 3, right gives him 5, so obviously he will choose more as payoff, that is 5. Again player 3 chooses table 2 and this time player 1 chooses down. This time also player 2 has two options, either to go left or go right. Left gives him 4 as payoff, right gives him 3 as payoff. Obviously 4 is greater than 3, he will choose 4. Okay, we are done with player 1 and 2. Now we need to find out the optimal strategies for player 3. Okay, so let's suppose, okay, we need to find out which table will player 3 choose. Let us suppose player 1 chooses up, player 2 chooses left. Obviously he has to compare table 1 and table 2. So here again in table 2, player 1 chooses up, player 2 chooses left. That means we are concerned with this cell and with this cell. Okay, so if here going for table 1 gives him payoff of 5, going for table 2 gives him payoff of 4. Obviously 5 is greater than 4, he will choose to go for table 1. Okay, again let us say player 1 chooses to go up and player 2 chooses to go right, this very cell. Also here player 1 chooses up, let us say player 2 chooses to go right. What are the options for player 3? He has to compare this cell with this cell. Okay, he is choosing between table 1 and table 2. Here you can see going for table 1 gives him payoff of 3, going for table second gives him payoff of 7. Obviously he will choose going for table 2. Okay, again let us say player 1 chooses to go down and player 2 chooses to go left. What are the options? Okay, let me write it here. Player 1 chooses to go down and player 1 chooses to go left. So what are the options for player 3? Either to go for table 1 or table 2. Here you can see down and left. So this cell um, down and left, that means this cell. So we will be comparing this one with 0. Going for table 1 gives him 1 as payoff, going for table 2 gives him 0 as payoff. Obviously 1 is greater than 0, he will choose table 1. Okay, again uh, let us say player 1 goes down, but this time player 2 goes right. Here also player 1 goes down and player 2 goes right. What are the options for player 3? Either to go for this cell or to go for this cell. Here when player 1 has chosen down, player 2 has chosen right, the payoff for player 3 is here 6. And here when player 1 chooses to go down and player 2 chooses to go right, the payoff is here 3. Obviously 6 is greater than 3, he will choose this 6. Okay, now what are the Nash equilibria here? By Nash equilibrium what we mean, Nash equilibrium occurs when each player chooses his optimal strategy given the other players have also chosen their optimal strategies. And in this table, Nash equilibria will be there where all the elements in a cell are underlined. Here we can say, see, all the cells are here underlined. That means we have this Nash equilibrium, and here also we have these cells, underlined. Then what are the strategy profile for Nash equilibrium? So we have strategy profile, that is player 1 goes up. Okay, let us write player 1 goes up, then uh, player 2 chooses left, so we have left, and player 3 chooses table 1. Table 1, this is one Nash equilibrium. Okay, ego mushi traun kah problem. Next is 4 5 7, and what is this strategy profile? That is player 1 chooses right, So let's write it here. Right. Player, sorry, player 1 chooses up here. Okay, up. It is here, it is up. Player 2 chooses right, and player 3 chooses table 2. These are the Nash equilibrium in this, payoff matrix when we have three players. Okay, I hope I make myself clear.